Are you ready to evolve your life? Are you ready to see immense growth and manifestation in your life? Are you ready to evolve every aspect of your mind, body, and your soul? Well, you're tuned in to Evolved Mastery, and I'm your host, Princeton Clark, and it is my goal to assist you on your journey of self-mastery as you create greatly in every moment of your life. So join me in this episode of Evolved Mastery. Hey, what's going on, guys? Princeton Clark here, and you're tuned into another episode of Evolved Mastery. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season and your Thanksgivings were blessed. But as I always say, every day is blessed. Every day is an opportunity to expand, grow, and evolve in every aspect of your life. I hope every experience that you are having now are pushing you closer to being all that you have the potential to be. This year, man, going into 2019, we're 1 month away. And I don't know about you guys, but this past year has been one of major expansion, major challenges, major tests, major growth and transformation, in my own life as I prepare the foundation for Evolved Mastery through this relaunch and also the release of my first official book, Awakening Your Inner Master, The Journey of Self-Mastery. And I tell you what, man, it's so easy to get into this flow where we're just creating, and it's easy to not slow down and just be thankful for all the things that have happened, the good, the bad, the quote unquote ugly, and just everything that happens in our lives, that brings us to this point. So many different things happen. And, one thing that I've learned on my journey, as I always say, is that, circumstances will happen, but it's not really about the circumstances, and you can't always control the circumstances, but you can always control how you choose to respond. And so for me, this year has been a year of massive responsiveness. I've had a lot of ups and a lot of challenges that have caused me to level up and expand within my own being as I step into this new place in my life. And I'm super excited about what's about to come. But I really just wanted to talk to you guys today, just about being completely authentic and being completely vulnerable to opportunity. So many times as we look at our lives, there's been ample opportunity to expand and to grow. As I always say, every challenge is an opportunity to dig deeper and to gain a newer perspective of where you are, who you are, and what you have the potential to do in that moment. And when we grow through different things, notice I say grow, not go, because a lot of times we say we're going through stuff. I don't say I'm going through it. I say I am growing through it. Every opportunity is an opportunity for growth. And, for me this year, although I've seen some immense challenges, I kind of got used to it over the years. I've, like I said, you guys have heard my story if you followed the podcast, being molested, being abused, struggling with deep depression, trying to commit suicide at the age of 23. And, luckily, or divinely surviving it and coming out on the other side with a more awakened perspective of life and people and love and our journey here. Man, like life has a special way of leading us down a path that will give us opportunities to face ourselves. And a lot of the times, I'll have to say this, the reason we don't grow through circumstances the way that we have the potential to is because we're not willing to be honest with ourselves, and we're not willing to be authentic about the things that we're facing and our responsibility in creating some of these things. Because as I said, again, we don't create everything that happens to us. Some things happen that are out of our power, but we always create how we respond, and so every opportunity and every moment is a chance to respond differently. But a lot of the times, because we allow our egos to get in the way, or we allow past hurts, past pain, past circumstances and situations to block us mentally, we don't stand authentically in the present moment, acknowledging our power to make better decisions, or acknowledging our power to change the result or the response of life in regards to how we have chosen to respond. And so I wanted to talk to you guys today about being vulnerable and the importance of being vulnerable and authentic with yourself. See, a lot of the times, we live in a society where everybody wears a mask. People in today's society, they have a mask for their friends, a mask for their family, a mask for their children, a mask for their colleagues at work, and their different acquaintances. And what we need to get to a point of doing is realizing that we need to learn to be authentic at every turn, at every opportunity. We need to be real about what we are experiencing, the things that we are feeling, the things that we are perceiving. We need to be honest with ourselves about how we're responding or choosing not to respond. We need to be honest with ourselves about how we're choosing to use our power or not choosing to use our power. Because when we start being vulnerable and being open to opportunities of growth, and we start being open and honest about where we are, what we are creating, it presents doorways to us where our opportunities for growth and expansions now begin to extend or expand, in our lives. A lot of the times it seems as though there's no doors, there's no new opportunities in front of us because we're not being real with who we are. We're not being real with where we are, and we focus so much outside of us. We blame situational things. We blame circumstances with people. We blame our jobs. We blame our parents. We blame society. We blame all these different things. And I want you guys to realize that, as the saying goes, every time you point a finger, there's three fingers pointing back at you, and that's true. We need to stop and focus on what we are doing, focus on what we are not doing, and really accept our power as creators. And this means we have to be true to that understanding that literally we are creating every reality. We may not, again, create the circumstances, and I'll keep repeating that because I want you to get that into your head. We may not create every circumstance or every situation, but we always create the response, and the response is going to dictate what happens as a result of our own state of being in every single moment. And if we're not willing to be open and completely vulnerable and authentic with ourselves and make better decisions and respond more conducively to the realities around us, we're never fully going to step into our power. People always say, Princeton, I wish I could be as positive as you are. I wish I could be as motivated as you are. I wish I could, be so loving, and the truth is, I haven't always been this person. I used to be an angry individual. I hated my life. I hated what was going on. I hated people. I used to always say I hate people. I wouldn't let people in. I was so hard on the outside. I didn't want to show emotion. The only place I really showed as much emotion as I could was with my kids and certain people in my family. But even then it was limited because I didn't fully love myself. I wasn't honest with myself, and I didn't really have people around me to share the information that I'm sharing with you. I didn't really have that around me, and so I lived a life of excuses. I lived a life of victimization because I wasn't willing to be honest with myself, and I wasn't willing to face myself in the mirror every day and say, Princeton, you are creating this reality based on your responses or based on your non-responses. And as a result, you are creating a life that you don't love. You are creating a life that you hate, but I'm trying to wake you up. There were so many things that happened to me, from deep depression to trying to commit suicide, so on and so forth. I faced so many challenges in my life, but I had to make decisions that would take me down a path that would make me better. I had to love myself and be honest with myself about the reality that I had created. And I had to be willing to step into my power to create something better, because I realized that the same way that I created a really negative life for myself, I had the power to create a positive result out of that life if I chose to step into my power and use what I had gone through as a gift to inspire other people. I used love for myself and love for other people going through the things that I had gone through to raise me up, to enlighten me, to awaken me to a deeper state of myself that showed me that, my next moment wasn't promised to me. When I tried to commit suicide and I held a gun to my head and I pulled the trigger and the gun misfired, I knew that every breath that I would breathe from that moment was a gift to me. And see, the only difference between my story and a lot of people's story is that they maybe hadn't gotten to that point where they had a near-death experience and life shifted right before their eyes in a moment. And so a lot of people don't value each moment. They don't value themselves in each moment. They don't value their breath in each moment, and they don't realize how valuable each moment is. They don't value or understand rather how important and how valuable each breath is. So they let so many moments and so many breaths and so many opportunities for growth pass them by because they're not willing to be honest with themselves, or they're not willing to accept that they have the power to literally change their lives starting right now. It's all about what you do right now. How are you responding? If you're going through a negative situation in a relationship that's maybe run its course, how are you responding to that? If you're going through a negative situation in a job that you're not happy with, how are you responding to that? If you're going through a negative situation within yourself, struggling with depression, what new positive things are you bringing into your life to pull you out of that? What reasons are you giving to yourself? How are you encouraging yourself every single day? Remember, I'm always talking about doing the work. We got to do the work. We got to love ourselves intently every single day. Sometimes we're not going to have people around us to motivate us. Sometimes we're not going to have people around us to pat us on the back when we take just one step that was extremely hard for us to take. But we got to love ourselves and encourage ourselves and be vulnerable enough every single day in understanding how powerful we are, that we're willing to be authentically real in every single moment. We're willing to be authentically responsive in every single moment, so that we don't just let moments pass us by. Instead, we take hold of that moment, we ignite our power into that moment, and we say, I am going to make the most of this moment. I am going to create something new in this moment. If I am sad, I am going to do something to put a smile on my face. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to go somewhere I've never gone before. I'm going to go and volunteer somewhere and add some light to someone else's life and give more meaning to my life. Because see, a lot of people are living meaningless lives because they're living lives that are not authentic to who they are. And see, I want to challenge you to awaken to who you are. I want to challenge you to wake up to the power that you have to change your life, but you got to be extremely real, extremely vulnerable to new opportunities, and extremely authentic. See, a lot of people have been living lies. They've been living lives that are not authentic to who they are. From the time that we're children onto adulthood, we're told who we are not. We're told what's beautiful and what's ugly. We're told what's right and what's wrong. But the truth is, you need to decide that for yourself. Don't let other people's thoughts or circumstances or ideas dictate to you who you are. You need to decide in every single moment who you will be, because in every single moment, you are making a choice to be something. And what you choose to be is going to create what is in your life. And so you need to choose to accept your power and say, you know what? Today I'm going to do what makes me happy. But there's another side to this. You got to do some deep inner work. You got to ask yourself, what really makes me happy? What do I want? And working with so many clients over the years, what I found is that a lot of people don't even know what they want anymore. And they think that this is a terrible place to be in. But the truth is, if you don't know what you want, then try something new, anything new. Break out of the old habits and the old habitual state of being that you've been in that's kept you where you are. Go out and experience new things, because you're never going to know what you love until you try things that you've never tried before. It's time to break out of being how you've been and doing what you've done that's not making you happy, and it's not making you happy. If you want to truly find yourself, you have to be willing to take a journey to explore who you truly are. And don't listen to people when they say, oh, that's crazy. You've been this way for this long. That's crazy. Why change anything? Because you're not being true to yourself. That's why. So when you get to this place, when you're truly ready, and I always say self-mastery is not for everybody. It's for those who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's for those who are ready to see massive change in their life, who are ready to step into their power and move. I got to this place because I got tired of being where I was. I got tired of going through the depression. I got tired of struggling and drinking and using drugs to mask my emotions. I got tired of wearing a mask to people who said that they love me. I got tired of being somebody that I wasn't, and I had to make a decision. And when I realized that every moment was a gift for me, I had to utilize every moment to be more positive, and it wasn't always easy. Many times I wanted to give up again, but I would not. Something in me, my spirit would not allow me to, because there was something greater in me that was being birthed. And what you see now, what you hear now through this microphone, through this podcast, is a result of someone who did not give up. It's a result of someone who chose to keep moving when so many people told him to just stop, when so many people gave up, when so many people said, I don't believe it's going to stick. See, I had to keep moving even when people doubted, even when circumstances said otherwise. I had to keep moving because there was something in me that told me that I was better than what I had chosen to be in my path. And now I am that voice to you today, telling you that you are better than what you have chosen to be in your path. There's so many other things that you have the potential to be. And because you are a creator, you are not led or drawn to do just one thing your entire life. You can choose to experience multiple things and newer experiences in every given moment. Doesn't matter how big or how small, do something new. Be real with you. Be vulnerable to new things. Be open to new things. Be authentically real. Do things that you've never done, even if it scares the crap out of you. Step into something new, even if it scares the crap out of you. Because stepping into something new, guess what? It's never going to be comfortable stepping out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people, a lot of you out there, the reason things have not been changing is because you have been stuck in your comfort zone. But it's, as I always say, one of those things where you have to be willing to be uncomfortable and uncommon. Stop doing the common thing. Stop doing the comfortable thing. Be authentic. Be real. Try something new and step into newness in your life. It's all up to you. But you got to love yourself so deeply that you are not willing to let another moment pass you by without doing something new every single moment, every single day of your life, so that you can give birth to something new in your life. You guys, as I said, coming into this year, I faced many challenges. My entire life has been filled with many challenges, but I had to choose to become something new. I had to choose to stand in my power. I had to choose to be authentic and different, because who I was could not be who I was meant to become. So step into your newness. Step out of the old. Be authentic. Be real. Be vulnerable to newness in your life. Be vulnerable to new opportunities and step into your power. It's all up to you guys. But as always, I appreciate you tuning in to Evolved Mastery. And if you'd like to stay connected, you can find me on social media at Evolved Mastery. And you can also contact me via my website at www.evolvedmastery.com. And also keep an eye out for my new book, Awakening Your Inner Master, The Journey of Self-Mastery. And stay tuned for future podcasts and lots of new things. Have a great one.